Today, I want to talk about the Godslayer. Before we begin, I just want to give a little bit about it from what I could find. The Godslayer is an Eastern inspired steampunk metropolis where gods known as Celestials reign with a divine fist. In this open world RPG, you are an elemancer, who refuses to bow. Infused with elemental powers and a heart of vengeance, you will dethrone them all, rise, and become the Godslayer. That's just a game excerpt from what I could find. And yeah, I definitely want to talk about it. But first, before I get into that, I just want to get into like a little bit around the Godslayer and what it is. The Godslayer is part of PlayStation's China Hero project. Uh, the China Hero project is the first of a few projects, including but not limited to the India project, the Middle East and North Africa projects. But or I should say hero projects, but still, those projects started in 2016, shortly after China lifted the ban or partially lifted the ban on their consoles in 2014. Now, Sony, not having a presence in China for about a decade, maybe a little bit longer, was struggling in there. So they started the Hero Project, an attempt to help fix that with the goal to achieve three things. One, better localization of overseas titles and promoting community activities. Two, enhancing domestic Chinese titles. And finally, improving game development capabilities in China by promoting their own projects. And that it's gone really, really well. And from what you can see, we've gotten a lot of games released so far: Fist, Fortune, and Shadow Torch. You know, in Nightmare, Lost Soul Aside, Astral Blade, Immortal Legacy, the Jade Chapter, and none of them really have been catching my eye until I saw the Godslayer. I was keeping track on this, but it just wasn't something that, I didn't know if I wanted to talk about. But the Godslayer, holy do I want to talk about it. This game has, from what I can tell, it, if it feels like if Avatar was mixed with steampunk, if Avatar was a game and they didn't have any gloves on. So I mean, I didn't see the trailer, but I've been a little bit busy, and now that we can talk about it. Oh boy, I want to talk about it. So yeah, and I think this kind of shows that we need to look out for China because we get games like Black Myth Wukong, which is developed by a Chinese studio, Game Science. Keep in mind, Game Science is an independent studio. Yes, their game was released and published on PlayStation, but also it's released and published on Xbox. So obviously alongside PC, but there were limitations. That's why it couldn't be on Xbox. Point aside, Chinese studios have been making some really good games, and we need to be look out for them. But yeah, I want to get into the trailer and just kind of talk about it. From what I can hear, it's Avatar as an RPG. If they didn't have any gloves on, because I feel like a lot of Avatar games have been really, really uh, toned down from what they could be. Panthea, okay, the developer.
The hideout is on fire.
Okay, even if this isn't indicative of the final product, the trailer looks good, really good so far.
Celestials.
We already saw a little bit of what we assume to be the fire magic. I'm not going to call it firebending since it's not technically firebending, but I had to restrain myself.
Master.
So maybe it looks like we might be able to use fire as a means of traversal.
They must be after the researcher.
Could be. We need to act fast. I'll deal with the Celestials. You go on ahead and find out what's going on. Don't do anything rash.
Okay, I can't help but notice it. It does look to be a little bit framey, about 40 frames a second, but I imagine that this is just pre-release footage and testing, so it's not indicative of the final product, but I do hope that it's something that they can clean up later on, because the biggest trend in gaming recently is just release something that is playable, but not polished. So this is playable, but it doesn't scream polish. So I'm hoping that this is just because it's in development still, and they're gonna just optimize it and make it run better. So that is something that I do want to note and point out. If this is in-game, footage, if it's just meant for the trailer, which I doubt it, since I like to include in-game footage alongside trailers or within trailers, that's just something that I just can't help but notice, and I do want to point out.
Easy for you to say. Now, how do I get past all the soldiers?
You can see a little bit of stuttering, but it's hard. I have to look for it, but I do know what to look for. So I mean, it looks like it already is in a mostly polished state, but I hope that, like I said, more, it's just a little bit more polish when the final product is released. So yeah.
What happened? Authenticate, is it?
And he tells me not to do anything rash.
Mind your business.
So we could just throw rocks at people. That is amazing. So yeah, looks like we just controlled the elements that we're used to. So it looks like over here something to do with water, from what it looks like, and obviously we saw that as Earth. So I mean, definitely nice. Thumbs up.
Damn it!
Okay, I want to comment on that. Was it really necessary to destroy their dinner and ruin their evening? I know it wasn't the best evening potentially, but just make it worse. Come on.
What? There you.
So this looks like it's another element thing. I'm gonna have to guess wind or air. So that's, oh, they have a gun. So yeah, I can definitely see like steampunk and the kind of cross with excuse me, Eastern inspiration. So yeah, I'm guessing that's something to do with wind.
Go.
Oh, if I just played, I would know.
Damn! Stop right there! Where did he go?
Okay, I gotta give credit where it's due. Give them their flowers. The animations look absolutely insane. So that flip up.
What? There you go.
Damn! Stop right there!
I know it's like, oh wow, impressive of an flip animation, but I feel like that it's tiny details like this which are lost in game development nowadays, or then just be like a simple climbing animation. So, flowers where they're deserved. Even though it's a simple flip animation, I like it.
Where did he go? It's you!
So it looks like, kind of things that look like mountains will be earth related. So it looks like these are made out of earth, so you can use them for your environment. Good, good.
He's up there!
Okay, I was wondering when the fire was going to come in. So it looks like fire is attached to your melee combat a lot. I mean, I get it. You have to include it somewhere, but I wouldn't mind if you have some fire using fire moves that utilize fire. let's stop trying to stutter and start saying words. Okay, so fire can be used for traversal. I kind of hinted that from the very first section or scene. First few seconds of the trailer, and looks like you can use it into a kind of ground slam attack from the air.
Whoa, too many.
Holy crap, the density! Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is leveraging the full capabilities of the PlayStation. This just looks so fucking good so far. It doesn't have to be the most graphically fit out, the most graphically intensive or great looking game, but I just think the art style, which it has one, needs to look good, which it does. So
Stop! There he is! Nowhere to run down!
parry mechanic?
Whoa, too many.
Stop! There he is! Nowhere to run down!
Yep, parry mechanic. Oh, that's a 1-inch punch if I've ever seen one. So it looks like there are finishers in this game. If you achieve a certain combo, you get to do finishers, kind of like Spider-Man or the Arkham series. Let's try that again. So yeah, that looks like it's a finisher if you achieve a certain combo or something like that.
Have a taste of my ass!
So hold on. That looks like a perfect dodge type mechanic.
Have a taste of my ass!
Yeah, it looks like a perfect dodge mechanic. So that's nice. And it's wind based instead of, or was that his attack? That was his attack. So we've had a bunch of quick blows with fire, and now we have sustained fire blast. So looks like we do have fire-based attacks, not just melee attacks with infused with fire. That's good.
No! Put it out! Put it out!
So we can perform finishers on big guys, and that looks like you can pick up the weapon and use it using the wind element.
Cool off, you lot!
Hold on. Oh, there is. Okay, I didn't see this originally. So I thought it was like, I hate referencing Avatar since I want to try and keep them separate, but metal bending in Avatar. And I'm like, nope, it's just using the wind.
Cool off, you lot! Gonna be cold.
Okay, freezing the water that just got spilled there. That's pretty good. I like it. I know we can't see the HUD and everything, but I wonder what the controls would look like with something like that. Props where it's due. And there's the fire traversal.
What's going on here?
Here we are.
Fodder, fools, humans. Which is next?
That must be Master.
So obviously a boss we're gonna encounter later on, but the hairstyle, it's always like the villain has crazy hair going on. It's just, it's kind of almost a trope at this point. Taunting our main hero. I'm gonna send my henchmen after you because I can't be bothered to deal with you myself. So obviously these kind of designs look a little bit more like, demons of sorts, dare I say, infused with the fire element. So we'll be facing elemental specific enemies or element specific enemies. That's intriguing. I was wrong. I'm glad to be wrong. So is this an element weakness, or do you have to use a different element to attack these guys? Because you just used earth-based attacks against these fire guys. So is it that fire does not damage fire, and humans are more susceptible to fire attacks? And then these fire demons, I'm just gonna call them fire guys, are more susceptible to earth attacks or other element attacks? Because that'd be really interesting, and I'd like it. So, you know what? I will happily eat my words. Okay, again, another finisher, which looks pretty cool. He wraps his forearm in earth and just strikes him with his forearm. Neat. Okay, the fact that you can hide behind an earth rock that a rock that you just bring up from the ground, really nice touch. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. I gotta give him credit for the animations. They just look really sick. You can't tell me that that isn't sick. That isn't amazing. This, like I said, this is an Avatar game. If Avatar didn't have the gloves on, oh my gosh, I wish they would just make something like this, because we could have this, and this is sick. I'd so buy it and play it, but no. But they get garbage games like Quest for Balance. Oh, okay. So there were more water-based attacks you saw earlier. This is just another one of them, creating a whirlpool. Bring all the enemies together. Okay, so there seems to be a freeze ability with all water, and they just brought them together, froze them. Oh my gosh. Rock slide. I think we're taking the steampunk inspiration a little bit to its limits here. Hey, everything in the ground, is ancient, but this machine is futuristic as hell. I know this is a fantasy world, and we should have suspension of disbelief, but I just want to point it out because I think it's hilarious. Okay, hold on. So cars must be made of some element that they can also control, because he just stopped that car from falling onto him. Noted. He spun forward, but not off. What?
Go! Head for the signal!
You can create a shield with earth. Honestly, I was waiting for that to happen because I was expecting it. I'm like, it's the most basic thing they do in Avatar. Why won't they at least take that and make it so they did? Okay, that caught me off guard. I was expecting him to just maybe channel wind out of it. Not, I'm gonna launch the whole thing at you. You know what? I'll take it.
Come on!
Sorry about that. Footage captured on PC. Not all images appear in game. So, I'm not surprised. This game is most likely going to release on PC and PlayStation day and date, which is good. More people being able to play the game, more people being able to buy the game, more sales. Sales means more money. Money means number go up or line go up. So it's clear that they got a PC version in development as well. And a game developed and published by Pathia Games. Pathia Games on the respective logos are trademarks or registered trademarks. The PS5 family logo and PlayStation 5 registered trademarks, Sony Interactive Entertainment. So, okay. So it's a game that's being published by Pathia. That's a massive difference compared to if it was being published by PlayStation. Now, what I do know, and we do know based off of this right here, the Godslayer, it is still part of their project. So they are, in fact, at the very least, funding it and have some involvement in it. Even if it's just funding, but they have some involvement in it because we know that. Now, there's a question. Will this game come to Xbox? It's one thing if it's, hey, it's going to be on PlayStation for a year and then it's going to come to Xbox later on. That's good. I want more games available everywhere. But if it's just simply money hatted and only available on PlayStation or PC, I think that's horrible. With the ongoing crisis of components, like RAM and storage shortage, people need to have every game available on every platform so that the platform they already own is enough and they're able to play it right away. It's one thing if it's right now, it's developed and optimized for the PlayStation family and will be optimized later on for the Xbox family, because I understand that the Xbox Series S is a lot weaker than the Xbox Series X. Keep in mind, though, that console is at least 4 times as powerful than the Xbox One, the Series S that is. While it's not 4 times powerful as the One X, it's 4 times more powerful than the One S, which is it intends to replace, and Microsoft intended to be the baseline console. Keep that in mind. So I just hope that this game is available for everyone because I think it has charm and appeal that everyone is going to like. Even myself, I grew up with Xbox. I loved Xbox. I never bought a PlayStation until God of War Ragnarok. I beat it 100% on it, got all the trophies, and then gave it to my brother because I didn't play anymore. Point is, I then built this PC, and I now hate exclusivity, period. I want every game available everywhere. I wish Nintendo would stop doing exclusives. But before I get off on a tangent here, I'm here to talk about the Godslayer. This game looks fucking amazing. The animations, the art style, the world, all of it looks amazing. Steampunk inspired? Yes, please. I just hope that, when it comes out, it's optimized, it plays well, good gameplay, good story, all of the fun stuff, because this game looks fucking amazing. But yeah, so that's kind of it. Like I said, I've been keeping my eyes on it for a while, and yeah. Another thing I definitely can say with this, I've found more out about this. The China Hero Project, they said that every game in development would at least receive 1 million yuan. Okay, I found that out. So I was right. There is money from Sony being in this game. So that's good. I can imagine 1 million going a long way. But yeah, and I hope that another thing is this game does not have an inflated budget, because we've seen that a lot with Eastern or Western games. Hopefully the East has that under wraps. But yeah, that is something that I wanted to share because I just found that out. Nice. But yeah, the Godslayer looks fucking amazing. Most likely having a PC port, and I just can't wait for it now. Thank you all. It's been amazing. See you guys in the new year.